Imagine a young, ambitious officer from a small island who literally changed the course of European history. A man whose name became synonymous with brilliant strategy and incredible willpower. He was the person who took responsibility for the fate of an entire nation, risked everything, and ultimately changed not only France but the entire world. How did he rise to power and become the Emperor of France? Today, we will tell you the captivating story of Napoleon Bonaparte's rise from a simple soldier to one of the most influential figures in world history. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, on Corsica, an island that had recently come under French control. His family belonged to the Corsican nobility, but their status was quite modest. Napoleon's father, Carlo Bonaparte, managed to secure a place for his son at one of France's best military schools, the Brienne School. There, the young Bonaparte stood out as an excellent student, especially excelling in mathematics, history, and military sciences. His teachers described him as a reserved but incredibly determined young man, ready for great achievements. His years at the Paris Military Academy were also transformative. Napoleon realized that his Corsican accent and origins were subjects of mockery, but instead of giving up, he focused on becoming the best in his field. At the age of 16, he became an artillery officer, and this specialization would later bring him fame. The events of the French Revolution opened up new opportunities for Napoleon. Amid the chaos engulfing France, his skills and ambitions were invaluable. His first significant success came in 1793, when he played a key role in the Siege of Toulon. The young officer devised a brilliant attack plan that led to the victory of the French forces. For this success, Napoleon was promoted to brigadier general at the age of just 24. This was only the beginning. What makes this moment especially notable is how Napoleon used his success at Toulon to build his reputation. He began to craft his own myth. His bravery, ability to find unconventional solutions, and his capacity to inspire soldiers became integral to his image. This later played a crucial role in his power. In 1796, Napoleon was appointed commander of the French army in Italy. The campaign was a triumph. Under his leadership, a poorly equipped and demoralized army transformed into a formidable force. Napoleon won a series of victories over Austrian and Italian troops, demonstrating his mastery of strategy and tactics. His victories not only strengthened France's position, but also made Napoleon a national hero. His name became known to every French citizen. However, behind the glory of victory were also difficulties. Napoleon had to contend with a lack of supplies, soldier fatigue, and tense relations with the French government. Nevertheless, he managed to mobilize the army and inspire it to new achievements. His famous phrase, "Soldiers, you are naked, hungry, but the riches of Italy lie at your feet. You need only to reach out," became a symbol of his leadership. In 1798, Napoleon went to Egypt with the goal of weakening British influence and opening new trade routes for France. Although the military campaign in Egypt did not yield the expected results, it left a significant cultural legacy. French scientists accompanying the army made numerous discoveries, including the finding of the Rosetta Stone, which became the key to deciphering ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. The expedition also laid the groundwork for further spreading European science and culture in the region. However, the defeat in the naval battle of the Nile against the British fleet under Admiral Nelson was a severe blow to Napoleon. Despite this, he skillfully manipulated the information, sending only favorable reports back to France. Thanks to his ability to control his public image, the Egyptian expedition remained a key part of his legacy. Upon returning to France, Napoleon found the country in crisis. The revolution had weakened internal institutions, the economy was in decline, and enemies threatened from all sides. Napoleon understood that only a strong hand could save France. On November 9, 1799, Napoleon, along with his supporters from the Council of Elders and the Council of 500, organized a coup. Initially, his plans met resistance, especially in the Council of 500, where some members strongly opposed. Napoleon personally appeared at the council session, and facing aggression, his brother Lucien, the president of the Council of 500, managed to defuse the situation and convince the members to support the coup. With the help of the army, Napoleon forced the deputies to adopt a new constitution, granting him the title of First Consul, effectively the head of state. This moment marked a key turning point in his career as he gained almost unlimited power. As First Consul, Napoleon proved himself a talented administrator. He implemented a series of reforms that would forever change France. Among them was the creation of the Civil Code, which became the foundation of modern law. New educational institutions were established, the economy was stabilized, and peace was made with the Catholic Church. These reforms strengthened his popularity among all segments of society. One of the most important achievements was the introduction of the franc as the national currency, which helped stabilize the economy. Napoleon also reformed France's administrative structure, creating a clear system of prefects to oversee regions of the country. This system was so effective that it remains in use in modern France. It is important to note that Napoleon's reforms had a dual nature. On one hand, they truly contributed to the modernization of France. On the other, they strengthened his personal power. He skillfully used these achievements to create the image of a savior of the nation. By the early 1800s, Napoleon had become the most influential figure in France. In 1804, he decided to take a decisive step, to proclaim himself emperor. On December 2, 1804, in the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, a grand coronation took place. Contrary to tradition, Napoleon crowned himself, symbolizing that his power came not from God or the people, but from himself. This gesture marked the beginning of a new era in French history. The process of proclaiming the empire was accompanied by a brilliant propaganda campaign. Napoleon emphasized that his empire was a continuation of the revolution's achievements, not a rejection of them. He managed to convince the French that only strong, centralized power could protect their conquests. Through his actions, he garnered the support of the army, the church, and the bourgeoisie, which was key to his success. At the same time, Napoleon began expanding his influence beyond France. His diplomacy and military campaigns led to the creation of a vast empire that included numerous European states. Each conquered state became part of his grand plan to unite Europe under the French flag. The story of Napoleon Bonaparte is a thrilling saga of a man who, through his intellect, ambition, and incredible energy, managed to change the course of history. His journey from a humble Corsican youth to the Emperor of France is an example of how persistence and talent can overcome any obstacle. But the story of Napoleon is also a lesson about how ambition can lead to triumph and then to downfall. His life remains a source of inspiration for some and a warning for others. Napoleon is forever etched in the memory of humanity as a figure standing at the crossroads of revolution and empire, democracy and authoritarianism. He was a man of his time, but his legacy transcends the era. A brilliant military leader, a reformer, and a symbol of ambition, Napoleon gave the world both great achievements and great disasters. And though his empire fell, and he spent his final days in exile on the distant island of St. Helena, the name of Napoleon continues to resonate through the ages. His story reminds us that a person is capable of great deeds, but also of the fragility of power and glory. It's a story of how the dreams of one man can change the fate of the entire world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Napoleon Bonaparte. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'll be back to tell the stories of other great figures and epochs that left their mark on history. See you next time.